I don't think that would be the best.
No.
And I'm quite curious to find out, why did you become this person you've become that we know, a negotiator with bandits and terrorists? How did that happen?
Okay, well, how it happened is that first I'm a victim of this banditry. My own brother was kidnapped. We got into contact then. That was in 2014, even before Buhari came. So we got in contact with the police commissioner then, who I know very well. And he advised us that, look, these bandits, they usually take the victim to a place and the ransom money will be collected in a different place. So that there is nothing we can do there's nothing they can do if we don't want the life of our brother to be jeopardized. So we just have to obey them. You see, that is number one. Secondly, I was seeing some of the criminals that we are caught with the police. They were asking them, interviewing them. I understood they are stark illiterates, completely empty. Neither the modern education nor the religious instruction. Then I said, yes, this explains to me everything, but I cannot say I have the theory of everything except if I go and meet them one-on-one. And that is the reason we got permission from the police, from the officials, and I gathered a team, to go in and see and hear for myself exactly what is happening. And this is how the story started.
So you've met them, and then talk and know them now. It would be very right to ask.
Okay.
Where they from?
I think I'm having internet connection problem. Is it all right? Can you hear me?
I can hear you and see you very well.
Okay, it's coming back. It's coming back. You can repeat your question?
I said, now you've known them, you've worked with them for a while, and you understand them better. So I'd like to find out, just like a lot of people, who are these people? Where are they from?
Okay, first of all, these people are disgruntled herdsmen. In fact, they are 100% Nigerians, but I don't rule out presence of some foreigners. If there are foreigners among them, are very, very few. That is one. These herdsmen are usually of the Fulani stock, but I can tell you they all speak Hausa fluently. In fact, when we go, we communicate in Hausa with them. So they are part of the society, but they have a grudge and they are disgruntled and they were offended. But you see, because of their lack of education and very good leadership representation, they resorted to what they are doing. Gradually, in fact, they are metamorphosing. They are gradually changing to what we have right now.
So if they are disgruntled, that means, because I've heard the word used before, that they are marginalized.
Yes.
They feel marginalized.
Yes.
They're not being taken care of.
In the mainstream.
Part of the,
They are not in the mainstream society.
Yes, in the mainstream society. I'm from a part of the country where we too feel marginalized. We have a lot of supplies and all that. We feel very marginalized too.
Okay.
This way.
Okay. In that case, to use the word marginalized is not the right word here. Then.
Okay.
Yes. If anybody, I don't know, are you in Lagos or in? You are in Lagos.
Yes.
You are in Lagos.
Yes.
So if a well-established presenter in Voice of the People FM will feel marginalized, then the word marginalized is wrong for us to.
No. I'm talking about, say, my people from the Niger Delta, for instance.
Okay. So Niger Deltans have a peculiar case whereby the resources that is sustaining the economy of the nation is from their land, and they are underdeveloped. they are, yes, marginalized. In this case, still, I would not use the word marginalization. These people were left behind. They are left behind with cows. And it's not that they are left behind, their culture left them behind, because they don't, when schools are available in towns, everything is available, they prefer to tender their cows, to multiply them generation after generation. Some of them will tell you, I have 3,000 cows we inherited from our grandfather, you know. So it's cultural issue that marginalize them. It's not our own making, and it's not their own making, it's the cultural issue. So now, in trying to solve this problem, we have to go in to see the culture of the people and see how we can modify them, because time has elapsed and has left them behind. It's just like the Al-Majri people are talking about. Al-Majri, when it was really functioning, is the one of the best educational system in the north, whereby you, with little money, you can educate your child, you know, to memorize the Quran, to know many things about the world, the areas, you know, and to put courage in a child. You see, as a young boy, you know, of 5 years old, he can go to Delta State and still stay, you know, and survive. Then it was good, but now time has elapsed, time has effaced the system. So just like that, cattle rearing, the way the Fulani herdsmen do it, time has come. We have to go in, we the privileged ones, to come see how we can gradually change them and redirect them to live in a modern world.
Okay, so Abiodun is going to ask a question, but I want to follow up on something you just said about culture left them behind, their traditions left them behind.
Yes.
And that means it's their own fault. Their fault, and their leaders and their reps and all that. So why are they taking out their anger?
Okay, you see,
had nothing to do with it.
Yes, no, you see, culture. When you talk about culture is somebody is born into something. He's thinking in the box. You have to go. He needs somebody out of the box to think for him and redirect them. Why I would say it's not their fault, it's our own fault, or the fault of the government, which has left a big population in millions without education. You know, in UK, I had a sister who was living in UK, but she's deceased now. May Allah have mercy on her. One time she told me she took her child from school in her car to take him to a private hospital. So on the road, the police there in UK, in London, stopped her. They say, what are you doing with a child at this time when he's supposed to be in school? But she told them, he is sick, I'm taking him to the hospital. Says, oh, okay, go on. Meaning that in UK, you cannot afford even to deny your child education. The government is up and about, seeing that everybody is educated. So how can we, as a nation, with so much money at a time, General Gawan, when he was the head of state, he's saying that Nigeria has a lot of money, doesn't know what to do with it. How can such a nation leave a very big population without education? No schools, no hospitals, no any amenities, nothing. And before tax was placed on cattle, they were paying tax. But then we have this politics that came and abolished it, which also alienate them from the main society. These are the issues. You see, we cannot blame them. If you cannot blame culture, but you blame the person who knows better and did nothing to change their culture.
Okay,
here's my question for you, sir.
Yes.
It's very simple. Many Nigerians, they are not happy. Many will keep complaining that why is Gumi the spokesperson of at this very top for Nigerians? What do you choose to be and whosoever that is affected by the actions in one way or the other?
Okay, I told you, one, I'm not speaking for them, I'm speaking for me and you. And in fact, when I saw your channel as voice of the people, I am so happy, because Nigerian people have no voice. You know, if you see the economic situation now we are facing now, almost every day you have families coming to you, we have nothing to eat. And you see their voices muffled, nobody can hear them. So the same thing I understood with the herdsmen. They have no any outlet to express their concern and to express their ambitions, to express what they are going through. As a clergy and a medical doctor and also a military officer, I felt Nigerians need to know about their case, and that if we Nigerians agree, this thing is coming to a full stop. In fact, I found the government then, but now I think there is a proactive steps taken by this government trying to carve it in the right direction. But you know, in Nigeria, they said always the devil is in the details. You know how it's going to be conducted. That is the only problem. Otherwise, nobody even wants to understand that these people were left behind. Not only left behind, I'm just trying to tell you the chronology of how things get worse. They are not only left behind, they became victim of exploitation. Victim of exploitation. Let me ask you, can you remember which year there was End SARS revolt?
Yeah.
Which year was it?
That is 2022.
2022. Yes.
That is 2020 already. Yeah. Wow, time flies.
Okay. 2022. I think after the COVID.
2020.
Oh, okay. It's just after the COVID, I think. Okay.
Yes.
You see, End SARS, the result of police brutality and inhuman treatment of police led civilized people to come together and tell the government enough is enough and stop. And SARS was disbanded. These same people went through brutality of the military, seriously killing innocent people, complaining about that, but you see they cannot organize themselves to put the nation on a standstill. That's why nobody is listening to them. We cannot deny our security men, some, not all of them. Not all of them. I was in the military, I know. When I was in the military, there is professionalism to international level. You never heard of these things, but we have bad elements in these systems that needs to be plunged out and needs to be, adjusted.
Yeah.
That inflicted a lot of injury to these people. Let me give you just an example. Recently in Tudunbiri, where somebody dropped bomb on a village. Had it happened, that village is a ruga of Fulani, right in the middle of the bush. Nobody will even hear it. But unfortunately, it happened very close to the town, and the people are not Fulanis, herdsmen. Then they cried. When they cried, the world took their attention. This is the difference. So we have...
Right, Sheikh, I think we'll have to take a little pause from your segment a bit to speak with Joseph so that we can make a little switch.
Okay.
We're having a little glitch on the online transmission. We'll sort it out but please don't go.
Okay.
Let Joseph just take a little bit of this segment and I'll come back to you. And I'd really like to know... okay, let me not tell you if I come back what I want to say.
Okay, don't worry.
So just hold on a bit, Sheikh. So Joseph, you've been hearing the Sheikh himself. He said the things he said about working with the Fulani herdsmen who's gone into banditry and all that. And we're wondering, are these people not same thing?
to ina ji internet wurin su ne dai ba wurin mu ba ko na ga sun dauke amma bari mu gani. abu ɗaya a ta yin shi shekara da shekaru ba sa ganewa amma yanzu ina ji sun fara da yake nsa din ya san ok ok munan we are online ok to alhamdulillah. Ok, to bari mu ci gaba kafin su zo na Facebook namu. Mu ci gaba da bayani. Ina fiyarin ko? To bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Da wayanda suke kallon mu a Facebook sun samu dan tangarda a can Lagos din. To ina jira kafin su zo sai mu ci gaba da bayani. Abinda kawai nake ganin mutane ya kamata mu yi magana a kan shi sosai shine talaucin da ya addabi wannan ƙasa. Kullum sai ka samu mutane sun zo sun gaya maka cewa ba su da abincin da za su ci na wannan yini. So ko da kama ba su abinci to gobe da jibi fa yaya. Ina gani wanda ya sa dole hukuma ta yi tunani na gaggawa sosai. Domin wannan talaucin ne yana daga cikin abubuwan da suke sabbaba rashin tsaro, suke kawo tashin hankali a ƙasar nan, suke sa wanda ma da ba ɓarawo ba ne ko kawai da wata muguwar aniya sai kaga kuma talauci ya tura shi ya je ya fara barna. Wannan abu ne wanda aka sani sosai a tarihi, a kuma ilimi na sociology an san shi, addini ma an san shi. Mu dai har dai musulmi mun san cewa Umar bin Khattab a wani shekara da aka yana mulki aka yi bala'in yunwa, sai ya ce kai wannan shekarar da ake yunwa ni ba zan yanke hannun barawo ba, domin ban san watkila don yunwa ne ta kai shi wannan sata ba, domin shi haddi na shari'a musulunci in matuƙa akwai shubha ba a yi. To kun ga abu ne wanda yake sananne. To ashe hukuma kafin ta tabbata, kafin ta aiwatar da wani abu da take so na gyara, to ta kula kada ya taba ci da shan mutane, kada ya taba karatu. Yanzu yara da yawa sun bar makaranta sun bar karatu, wanda yake shi ma kan shi babban lahani ne. Yanzu abin da muke tattaunawa da wannan gidan rediyo shine maganan rashin kwanciyar hankali a ƙasa. Mun san cewa rashin ilimi, domin duk mutanen da suke tada hankalinmu in ka duba ka auna iliminsu za ka ganci yana da karanci. Ya ishe mu hujja mu dinnan da muka samu da falala Allah muke karatu, yana da wuya mu ce mun dauki makamai muna zuwa muna kidnapping mutane, ko da yake na san wanda ya karatu kuma shi ma zai iya zama mujrimi in bai sa addini a zuciyar shi ba. Domin wayanda ake ba shugabanci su yanka wa kansu tsoka na babbar tsoka ta albashi, su zo su bar mutane ga nan cikin talauci, shi ma yi wannan wani nau'i ne na mujirmanci, kuma gashi sun yi karatu. To ashe kenan wanda ma bai yi karatu ba ya fi cancanta kenan ma ya zama mujirmi. To anan muna kira gwamnati ta yi sauri ta gaggauta abubuwa kamar guda 3 ko 4 wanda yake su ba wasa da su. Na farko shi da abinci. An ce a hungry man is an angry man. Duk wanda ke cikin yunwa to mutum ne wanda yake yana cikin hushi, ba abin da ba zai iya ba. Na ɗaya kenan. Na biyu yaranmu, domin yaro girma yake yi, in ba su abin da zai tsinka musu karatu, mu tabbata cewa tun daga primary har a ƙare secondary alal akal kowane ɗan Najeriya ba wani yaro da za a bari a waje. kun ga almajiran nan na san lokacin gwamnatin Jonathan ya yi wani yunkuri har ya gina makarantu na almajirai wajen 150. Ok, to gashi na ya dawo. Ok, to ya gina makarantu inda an ci gaba da wannan raya makarantun nan, ba ma haka ba, ƙara wasu makarantun. Wayannan yaran da muke gani almajirai in an sa su a makaranta aka musu uniform, aka yanka musu albashi haddi malaman nasu, ana ba su koyar da Kur'anin kuma koyar da musu da ilimin zamani. Yanzu da magana almajiri ya tsaya. To amma me za mu zo kan gidan rediyo da talabijin mu yi ta babatu, mu yi ta suka, amma me muke yi? To rashin aikin nan shine yake kawo da cikas. Shugabannin mu wani lokaci abinda kake gaya musu sun sani, wani lokaci su da kansu suke faɗa, to amma me wuka na hannunsu, nama na hannunsu, me yasa ba su iya yi su fito su ga sun cewa kowane yaro ya samu ilimi. Abu na uku wanda yake bai kamata a yi wasa da shi ba shine kiwon lafiya. Hanyar kiwon lafiyar nan Najeriya nan muna hasarar miliyoyin kuɗi. Ka ji mutum da ya fara waɗannan ciwo, zazzabi, ciwon kai, ya tafi Egypt ko ya tafi India. Wannan zuwa Egypt da India nan da an tsaya yi tsarin asibitai masu kyau da aka likitocin mu kwararri wanda suke Turai, suna America, wanda suna can suna taimaka ma wayansu, inda sun samu karbuwa da ci gaba da arziki, ba ma inda za su je, za su tsaya nan. Balle haka kuma duniya ta kai ga yanzu in likita bai ishe ka ba ka zo da na waje, kamar yadda su suke ɗaukan namu, ma za mu iya ɗauko likitoci daga Indiya wayanda suke na dindindin, kuma ana iya yi kamar yadda muka gani a wasu ƙasashe, suna sa manya-manyan likitoci a shigo da su a tattara musu mara lafiyan da za su musu aiki, su zo su yi aiki su tafi sati ɗaya sati biyu haka. Don hanyoyi gashi na kiwon lafiya wanda yake ya kamata a kula da shi, amma muna hasaran kuɗi.
12 million naira was paying out. So the question now is this: if Nigeria want to get the security issue right,
yes,
take care of your security personnel.
Okay.
You know, the salary, the allowance is not enough for them, and they are looking for a way to fill the gap.
Sometimes they don't mind.
All right, we'll be having the check back on now. We have to take a break from. Are we set? Is it okay now? Okay, we'll join him shortly. They're still trying to fix this and that. Yes, and we're still going to look at the fact that even the state governor just came out to say something. Okay, let's find out where he was complaining. Can we carry on? Okay. Sheikh, you're welcome back.
Okay, okay. Okay, don't worry. Okay. Yes.
All right. So let me take you quickly back to another bit to answer that. I wanted to ask about the thing you said about the disgruntled Fulanis.
Yes.
I asked Joseph this question while we're waiting for you to get.
Okay, before you said, before you continue, it's not disgruntled Fulani, it's disgruntled herdsmen.
Fulani herdsmen. Let's make it that.
Oh, okay.
Fulani is though, right? Fulani herdsmen.
Fulani is the ethnic tribe. Yes.
So the herdsmen.
Yes.
The disgruntled herdsmen. So the question I was asking is, now school became a problem. Jonathan tried making the school for the admiraries too. And when a Fulani became a president, I'm asking, why didn't they know to still help this group of people? Because even our former president has his own cattle, so he understands how the herdsmen operate, he understands their challenges. So how come they still didn't do anything? Instead, they're not letting the whole of Nigeria bear the brunt of banditry. Why didn't they go to their leaders?
That is a paradox. Maybe history will only judge the last administration. It has all the political support. It has everything at its disposal. But unfortunately, it decided to look away. So this issue was not tackled in 8 years. In fact, it got worse. And the killings and the kidnapping reached what the proportion we are facing. But I think it's something just very peculiar to that politics. I don't think any other Nigerian who will come will do the same thing that we saw in those 8 years. But I can say now, I think the direction is taking a good shape. The only things I think lacking is Nigerians, we don't do things with perfection and precision. If we do that, I think this herdsmen revolt and insurgency is going to come quickly, suddenly to a stop.
So a lot of people are wondering, these people have very strong ammunition, and some people believe that they have sponsors that are not uneducated like them. Yes. So the question is, with all these several hundreds of units they have and leaders, how do they get these weapons they are fighting with?
You see, you see now, if I can give any Nigerian even a small pistol, to take it to Heathrow Airport in London, or to go through the seaport, is it possible that he will not be detected? It's not possible. So you see, the infiltration of bad weapons that came from Libya and other areas, from Chad and conflict areas, because our borders are porous. We are not even able to maintain our borders. What I heard is that they carry these weapons on camelback in unrooted areas. So now what stops our immigration? What stops our custom to also have mounted guards, on camels to protect this border? It's something we have to look into it. It's not only weapons that come in, drugs too, because we found drugs among these people too. They are high on drugs, marijuana and some tramadol and other things. So you see, we have to look at the border. You see, during the last administration, he was spending trillions of money on the military kinetic approach, whereas those millions, if they are spent on custom and immigration, so that they can secure the borders of Nigeria, it will be more effective than what the military is. I don't underestimate the role of the military. The military is a very prestigious institution that should be respected. Where I say respected, you don't give military job to be fighting ragtag people, who can just camouflage in a guerrilla warfare. Military is not good for guerrilla warfare. Military is a fire machine. It's a fire for fire. They want military like them to be fighting, not people that will come as civilians, then suddenly change and kill them and run away, because it leads to a lot of innocent people, civilians dying if you send military on such kind of warfare. No, let's seal our borders. Let the custom and the immigration be empowered to do the work. Then you find that even drugs will not come in, weapons will not come in, and foreigners too. This transport between countries will stop. These are the things that the government has to look into.
Now, the Katsina state governor just said something, that is Diko Rada.
Yeah.
He said that security personnel, some government officials and security personnel are aiding banditry in the country. It also reminds me of something that my people in the Delta used to say, that at a point they used to see helicopters dropping weapons and food for these people. You see soldiers protecting them sometimes, and it now makes me wonder, this thing that the governor is saying, how complicit is the government and the military in all of this, in your own perspective? Because if they are now turning it into like a business venture and so on, has it not gone above being disgruntled about not being taken care of to becoming a way of making some people rich, kidnapping children, kidnapping people from the south, people from the east who have nothing to do with it?
Yes, I would not rule out the presence of bad elements in our security setup, and they are benefiting as a kickback from this dirty money that is collected from innocent people. I cannot rule it out. But I don't think it's intentional. I don't think it's by commission. It's by in commission. You know, what they are supposed to do, they are not doing it. Because even if you are supposed to guard a place and you leave it and thieves come and steal from that place, you are aiding thieves because you are not putting in something that can stop them. Yes, we know that. But I can tell you, honestly speaking, it's exhaustive and too difficult for our security to tackle a whole population who carries arms to fight it, and not only on a specified land, widespread. Nigerian on uninhabited area in Nigeria is about 70%. 70% of Nigeria is uninhabited, and this inhabited, there is no government presence. One time I went from Ilorin to a village near the border with Benin. What's the name of this village? In fact, we can run for many kilometers without seeing even a policeman. So Nigeria is ungoverned. And this area is where these bandits have their hideout, you know. So if we want to stop this, then we have to empower the right security outfit. As I've said earlier, we have to empower the custom. We have to empower the immigration. We have to empower the police. The police are more civil, close to these people. They can go in plain clothes policemen and understand them seriously. Then where fire is needed, we immediately call the military to go and do it. But if we concentrate so much on the...
But Sheikh, should we say Nigeria is ungoverned because you just said something like that? You go land, you don't see police and all that. Shouldn't it be a case that we need more of the presence of the government in some other
places? Not only in some. The government should be present everywhere. Everywhere. What we can do also with the herdsmen, like we did with the Niger Delta militants, when they are rehabilitated, when their grievances were listened to because of international pressure. I don't think it's because of Nigerians. If Nigerians, they will say, let them go and kill themselves and die. But international pressure put on Nigeria, we had an amnesty program, you know, to rehabilitate them, to educate them. There is a relative peace and quietness in the Niger Delta. And they are also the ones helping, assisting the government in making sure there is no oil vandalization. The same thing with the forest. We have Nigerians there. In fact, it was estimated that there are about 9 million plus herdsmen in all scattered in the bush. We can educate them. We can also use them in guarding the forest, which they will be willingly ready to accept, and also integrate them into the society.
But this thing you just said about reintegration and all that, was that not what happened with the Boko Haram? They tried to reintegrate, and you see some of them are beginning to cause a menace in society, attacking the police, attacking people, killing people under these guise of reintegration.
No, you see, okay, you see, when you have such people like that with families, what are you going to do? You put them on a firing squad and kill them all? It's not possible. Nigeria will be termed as a genocide.
Bringing them back, they are causing problems.
No, you see, when you bring them back, where the institutions that are supposed to rehabilitate them are not doing their work. They are not doing their work. Money is given, but it's not, the true rehabilitation and resettlement is not done like it should be done. So you find some few going back to the... And another thing, it's an ideological war. What we have to do with Boko Haram is, let's bring them. You don't want Boko. Boko means Western education. That is what it means. You don't want Western education. No, okay, which one do you prefer? You say, okay, you see, in Iraq and Syria, they study medicine, engineering, architecture. In fact, all their sciences are studied in Arabic. And these people, since they don't want English, if English is your problem, then no, don't worry. Come and study biology in Arabic. Come and study. You know, you have to try and wean these people gradually from this violence and this erratic ideology they have. But if you say you want to face it with only fire, then that is when it backfires.
Sheikh, thank you very much.
Like,
State government or whosoever you are demanding it, it's a crime. You must not pay it. How do we go about that?
okay, I have not heard
You're
your.
going to continue paying.
I have not heard.
Are you with me, sir?
No, I didn't hear what you said.
Okay, can you hear me now, sir?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Federal government come out telling Nigerians we are not going to pay any ransom to anybody. Any kidnappers, we are not paying any ransom. We are not ready to do anything. The only thing there is if you kidnap anybody, we're going to find every means to get them back. Do you think that is the way to try and pay the ransom so that we can be getting our people back?
Theoretically, it sounds a good idea. But when you come to practical issues, you find that it's not practicable. When the victims or the family of the victims, usually they are the ones that are putting pressure on the government. That look, if government, you are not going to get these people, we can do anything to get our beloved ones back. So you see, even if you, I think there's a law against ransom payment and everything, but unfortunately it cannot be effected because the people involved in it. I could remember even one time a wife of a general was involved in this kind of things, and they have to follow the same way to ransom his wife. You can imagine. And I know this one bandit, in fact, kidnapped daughter of an Air Force officer. Very unfortunately, there is nothing he can do about that. So the same processes. What we need to do is, look, we are educated. We should use our intellect and education to see how we can circumvent these people and change them and redirect them to be useful to the society instead of fighting the fight they are fighting. Now let me tell you, last week in an area in Sokoto State, Gada, there was a massacre of ordinary Fulani dwellers, by the villagers there. You see, it's turning gradually into an ethnic fight, something like what we had in Rwanda. And if not care is taken, it can spew and get out of hand. It's becoming ethnic. Now criminals and non-criminals are all killed. I think the government should work very quickly and it should not drag its leg in trying to see that we have a settlement that will stop this carnage that is going on.
Talking about stopping the carnage, the settlements and all that, is there another way? Aside this negotiation part that you've taken, is there another way we can stop the Boko Haram insurgency and other insurgency going around?
Yes, you see, as I've said at Boko Haram, where is the school? Give them the school, the Islamia school they want. Give them the Islamia school they want. Teach them that. You see, they themselves, as they mingle with people, they will see the need for this modern education. When his wife is having a breech presentation that needs a CS, he will find that his ideology cannot cure her. You see, there is a way we can, if they say this is what they want, say, okay. But one condition, you should not attack people. We don't mind you adopting that idea, but you should not attack people. Come and live with people peacefully. They themselves gradually, they will be assimilated into the modern life. Nobody told us to be riding cars. Before we were riding donkeys, horses, and camels. But when the motor car came, nobody convinced us to switch to the car because of its efficiency. Let's get schools, let's get things ready for them so that they can be engaged in the society. Not just arming military to say kill them and kill them and kill them, and the killing will not stop.
So that's the non-kinetic part you've been talking about.
Yes, which was never been applied correctly. Even if if they talk about peace, they just talk about it in the faces of newspapers. But actually, when you meet the people, they said we don't see anything like that.
Okay, aside the simple example that you just gave to us now, if you were to give a clear path clear path to resolving this problem in non-kinetic format. How would you describe it totally?
Yes, you see, I was just going through, I saw that the former Vice President Osibanjo built a school, a model school in Borno State. I saw it on the YouTube. I said, this is what government is supposed to be doing. You see, the more you educate people, the less they become violent, the less they express their anger and frustration in violence. But you see, when you leave people without such care, then anything is possible. I'm sure me and you, as far divergent we are, you are in the Niger, and I'm here far from the north. We are not. You are not a militant, and I'm not a bandit. Why? What is the difference? It's the education. So we give education to every Nigerian. We should try to educate Nigerians as much as possible. But when you have more than 80% of Nigeria semi-illiterate or illiterate, when you have 60% of Nigeria with multidimensional poverty, when you have Nigerians that are now represented, Nigeria don't see the Senate and the House of Reps as representing them, unfortunately. Why? Look at the salary they give for themselves, and look at the salary even our professors in universities get, how much doctors get compared to what politicians that are supposed to be representing us get. This kind of things, you need a overhaul of the system, really. And I hope this government will do that, because I think the President Tinubu has the capacity to change when he understands. But you, the press, should make him understand. Look, Nigeria needs an overhaul, but the overhaul should be in a humane phase. It should be gradual, not just sudden. There is no courage in turning a whole nation suddenly into abject poverty. He has to do it slowly, gently, and gradually.
Okay, so it now brings to the point where one now wonders, because there are people who believe that terrorists, bandits, because they take lives, they kill people, and they become quite vicious, don't treat them with kid gloves. When you meet them in the forest, the soldiers should just
kill them,
or just kill them straight on. Or you have the non-kinetic approach you're doing, and so some people feel like you have a soft spot for them. Do you have a soft spot for them, or how do you react to that?
Yes, no, I don't have a soft spot for crimes and criminals. I don't have it. But I look at what is pragmatic. How can we come out of this problem? How can we stop the carnage? Because you see, if the military can do the job 100%. In fact, we have the former chief of army staff. He said fighting the insurgency needs about just 25% kinetic. The 75% is non-kinetic. These are the military chiefs talking to you like that. In fact, because fighting insurgency, they know it's not their job. If it's maybe Niger will attack Nigeria or Cameroon or Benin, yes, that is where the military will come in. But fighting ragtag people, that we hide behind civilians will cause more damage to the civilians. So we are looking for a practical, pragmatic solution to the issue, not just to because of to show that one is courageous, to show that just kill them. Yeah, kill them is easy to say. In fact, the former president said, just shoot them at sight. Shoot them at sight. He said that. And the military did some of it. But unfortunately, it didn't give any result. You see, religiously, you should also be conscious that to let 10 criminals escape is better than to kill one innocent soul. So you see, that is the difficult situation the military is facing. If they want to go in with full force, they will kill so many innocent people. And this is what is dragging their feet. How can we overcome it? It's political. Let's get in. Since I've gone in, I've shown the government, yes, it's possible to go in and speak with them. This is not only thing. As I've said, the former vice president built a school. I myself were able to get a grazing area and build a school for the herdsmen. And we are so shocked to see about 600 of them, men, women, even their women are ready to learn, and small children. So why don't we have such school all widespread across the nation? Put them back to school, educate them, show them nationalism, show them civilization. Why? We are not ready to spend money, and we want peace. It's not just possible. We have to work on this population. We have to do something.
There is something I'm still trying to understand and grapple with in all of this. In this non-kinetic approach, I'll still go back to their own leaders. Aside the president and so on, I go back to their state leaders. They are from a state, they may be nomadic, but there are states where you have a number of Fulani herdsmen, right? And they have representatives too. They have people who speak for them. And in Nigeria today, what I told Joseph earlier on, people believe that the Fulanis are the silent leaders in Nigeria. So, of their own accord, why can't they solve the problems of these people? Because I still do not understand why it is not a national problem.
Okay, okay, I understood what you are saying. Let me give you an example. Jigawa State. Jigawa State has herdsmen, and we don't have incidences of kidnap or criminality in Jigawa State because the government is proactive. The government has put aside politics. When PDP was there, they instituted some measures. When the APC came, they continue on the same message. There is continuity. So Jigawa State is one of the most peaceful states in Nigeria. And luckily, the former governor of Jigawa State is the Minister of Defense. We are very happy about that because he knows how he dealt with the issue in Jigawa State. But problem here is now, will the president give him the hands and the listening ears to put this same thing they did in Jigawa State all over the nation? That requires a budget. Secondly, Adamawa State. Adamawa State, even though they have some cases of banditry, but it's limited. The hotspots we have banditry is in Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, and Kaduna State and Niger State. If you understand one thing, it's a particular clan of the Fulanis that we are subjected to these extrajudicial killings, and they are revolting. Not all the herdsmen are revolting. It's just a particular clan that is reacting here. So you see, we have to understand that the geopolitics of the issue and also address it in the same way. Such Fulanis, because they were killed, they were massacred, so there is a disconnect between them and their leadership. Because they say, you, our leaders, you see what is happening to us and you are doing nothing about it. So they don't listen to them. And that is the only opening we have is for the clergy, for the religious people to go in. Because they know us as apolitical, they can trust if we listen to them. And you see, even what we are doing now, and as you have said, why is Sheikh Gumi always trying to show as if he's defending them? You see, now if Sheikh Gumi is involved in this issue, they will say, okay, that voice we know is true. That voice is genuine because that voice is exactly portraying what we are going through. I'm not trying to be hypocritical about what is happening to Nigeria, and we need voices like it so that they have confidence when we tell them, look, this is the way how to go about it. I could remember when we met one bandit leader, a very notorious one. Why he told us, he said, look, if it is the government that sent you, they are deceiving you. I said, how? They said, well, because we have sat down with government several times and they always breach their agreement. He said that. Then secondly, he said, if not because we had you as a scholar, we would not even come here. We will not come here because we will not negotiate with. You see, they need a genuine hand that will listen and do. Look, politicians, who trusts politicians in Nigeria? Who trusts when they say they will do something, they will do? So these people, they don't trust politicians. And this is time for the clergy, for the emirs, for the archos to all come together and in a nationalistic form and not just hidden meetings with them. Look, one of them, when we met them, he said, is this general? Is this peace you are coming to talk about? It involves generals and it is Nigeria as a whole. I said, well, I cannot speak for Nigeria, but I'm speaking for you to stop what you are doing. Then he showed me that he has about more than 300 boys under him. So now how is he going to sustain them? I said, no, don't worry. We speak with the state governor to give you land to farm, to give you manure, to do things for you, which he agreed. And in fact, that time, if you could remember, in Niger State, there was a boss that was kidnapped, and there was a school that was kidnapped. We spoke to him. He said, okay, he will see what he will do to release them. And they were released without penny, you know. And the victims are there, I can tell you. They were released without a single kobo. Muted. Okay, I can't hear. We can't hear you at all. We can't hear you. We can't hear. We can't hear you. Okay. Okay, the voice is coming back. Okay, it's back now. It's back. I can hear now.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So I was reading what the governor of Katsina said.
Yes.
That in that state, northern youths, this general now, are recruited into banditry with a mere 500 naira. And they have informants and they have that. It now takes me to a question a comment somebody made on YouTube, that the North had practically been in power in Nigeria all the while. But they will still have very poor people in the North, even the whole of Nigeria. But the Northern youths, education, almost nil, poverty, rapt, drug addiction. And so these people are as if it's a weapon, as if the Northern leaders, I don't know, it's not generalized now, as if they are weaponizing poverty, and so these children are being dragged into banditry, and it's causing a problem for the whole nation. What do we do about the Northern leaders?
Yes.
Nothing unsaid about their leaders.
Yes, Northern leaders, that is the catchphrase. They are the ones that needs to be, to be re-educated. Northern leaders. And when we say leaders, we just don't mean the politicians alone. It involves the emirs and the clergy. Now, if you are Hausa speaking, you'll be so surprised now what Northern leaders are discussing on Facebook on useless issues, fighting each other, antagonizing each other. You see, the North is supposed to be monolithic, but unfortunately factors and interest has also divided the North into fragments. And this is dragging the whole nation behind, not just the North. So I think leadership, we need a strong, concerted, consensuous leadership that knows how to deal with this issue. First, unite people on something which is good and peaceful coexistence. This is what we need. Not somebody that will come and polarize the nation and divide the nation, as we have seen in the previous years. So the key word to this problem is Northern leadership. They need to come together and see the problem of the North and address it head on, especially on education, illiteracy, and also the poverty. Poverty needs to be addressed. In fact, now I'm doing a program in which I'm trying to return our youth back to the farm, to the land, to farm. And that's why we need peace, seriously. We need this kidnapping to stop, because a very big land is not cultivatable, because of insecurity. Many local governments in Kaduna State, in Zamfara, in Katsina State, very fertile land for farming, but people cannot go to farm because of insecurity. I think we need to focus on northern leadership. Look, what is wrong with northern leaders? What is wrong with them? Is it religious? Is it cultural? What is it? And it's not education, because you can find northerners as in any facet of human knowledge. You find them excelling. We have doctors, northerners working in the United States, in UK. We have doctors in everything. But yet, as a nation, we have failed. This nation, we have failed to do what is right for the people. And as you've said, maybe some people find it convenient when we have these people who will be coming to their house, rankai daddy, may your life be elongated, and giving them some chicken feet. Probably is cultural, and probably is misconception about religion. Islam is really misunderstood in northern Nigeria. It's not as it's supposed to be practiced everywhere in the world. We need to really work on that.
You know, since you're here with us, I think there are some things I would raise now. Some people have asked some questions, some things accredited to you, quoted to you, and I would like to say some of them to see if truly you said them. You can reiterate or disclaim. Is that fine?
Okay.
Okay. All right. There is this one that sometimes in October 2023, you made a statement which went viral across several news outlets that Southerners cannot be trusted with power like Northern Muslims. So, did you say that? And if you did, are you of the notion that Northern Muslims should always be in power? Because according to what was quoted, they can be trusted with power. Is that a direct quote from you or a misunderstanding?
I think I misquoted. I cannot remember the context. Maybe probably I'm talking about, I cannot remember the context, really. I cannot remember saying that. Oh? Yeah, Fita. This meeting has ended. Oh, ko ina ji in an wuce awa daya. No, 58. 1 hour almost. Ina gani abu. The meeting has ended.
Since it is finished 1 hour.
Ka gani ba sa fahimta amma dai a hankali wasu za su ga ganewa shi wannan yanzu yana so yayi abu amma yana so yi shi a asirce ne ko zai asirce ba a'a ina nufi ka ga da kaiwa Niger Delta president ya fito raduwa ban san ko kuna mai lokacin
na san Niger Delta maganar amnesty
yace an musu amnesty, an musu ministry, an yi kaza in an yi haka kuma dukan su ji yanzu ba yaki ya tsaya za a muku komai, sannan ga ministan ku ga ministan su to sai a na ɗaya a san su kaga kana yaki da wanda baka sani ba ya gama da kai so in an san su ta yaya za a san su sai sun bari shiga daji, ta yaya za su bari shiga daji sai an ce za a zo a gina asibiti, za a gina makaranta, sai a ce ku zo. Mun yi haka fa, mun yi a Janjala muka je muka musu makaranta to
kuma ga shi suna ta karatun a yanzu
suna
ana sawa
to ka gani wallahi ina ji ai sai mu tsayar da wannan shi ma ya gama